Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pain Scale. I'm here with you today to help you, as this video is entitled, or will be entitled, How to Become a Better Person Coming from Someone Who Was a Bad Person, which that bad person is myself. Before we get into how to become a better person, I will give you reasons why I was a bad person. Um, and maybe you might somehow connect to this. Maybe you might see this in yourself, but it's like, I always wondered, being a bad, you know, human, just a person, you know, how do I become better? Like, is there any coming back from it? And what I mean by I was a bad person, it was like, I just, I guess I was very, it's kind of hard to go back because it's just so many years. Um, but it's like, I was a very annoying person. I could be a very demanding person at times. And not to take the blame away from myself, but growing up, I was around very irresponsible adults, including my mother and my father, which, they are very irresponsible. Um, and, they taught me just how selfish a person could be. And I was very selfish, growing up because it's like, I always thought like, what about me, and it's, to some degree, that there's nothing wrong with that, as, like saying like, oh, like what about me? Like, or what do I want? That's not selfish, that's self-care, when you start to, um, question like your wants in life or what you want to do in life, or what you want for yourself in life, that's not bad at all, that's not narcissistic. I think I probably mentioned talked about this a little bit before, but there's nothing bad about, wanting something for yourself, and I say as a bad human being, I let my emotions would control me most of the time for a good part of um my life. I just let my emotions control me. I was not self-aware at all. The this day, to present day now, I'm fully self-aware. So now I understand. When I'm doing something bad, or you know what could come, what could be bad, and I try to change myself. You know. So, but let's get to how you can make yourself a better person. And when I say make yourself a better person, I'm not talking about make yourself a better person for someone else, not make yourself a better person for society, make yourself a better person for yourself. Um, and the first part of that is becoming self-aware. You know, which that's very important. I guess there's like a statistic or something out there. I actually saw that on a video earlier. I guess it's like um 90% of human beings think they're self-aware, but only about like 10 to 15% are actually like self-aware, which, that's probably a big number, based on how many, people are on this planet. But that's not enough though. Um but a big part of becoming a better person for yourself is becoming self aware. And when you become self aware, you start to question your emotions, your feelings, why you're doing something, um, you know, and you also start to question your surroundings too. Like, is this, a bad place for me to be? Do I need to leave this place? And you start to also question the people around you. Like, if, is my, like you start to question, like, oh, is my family toxic? And you start to, as you start to make, logic based opinions yourself, you start to realize, like, oh, yeah, these people are very negative. And it's like I don't want to be around them, or like my friends negative, or is like the significant other am I with, are they very demanding, and they want me to live for them. Because me personally, I don't believe anybody should live for somebody else. Live for yourself. This is your one life. Live for yourself. So becoming self-aware again, that's a big part of realizing what you have in your surroundings. So yeah, always try to work on becoming more self-aware. The One of my favorite uh YouTube channels, Psych to Go, um they have some videos on self-awareness. Also, I believe there is quite a bit of videos on YouTube on how to become a better self-aware person, um as well. But me personally, my first step to becoming a self-aware person was realizing, hey, I'm kind of, like an evil, like malicious person, you know, or I could be like that sometimes, so, that's, start to recognize your emotions. And I think, that's one of the first steps that you take to becoming a self aware person. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the second um, item on the list. Um, how to become a better person coming from a bad person was is realizing and becoming aware of your emotions, or accepting your emotions, I should say, because that's very important. Some people say, like, oh, like if that person's jealous or angry, like get away from them. It's like, because here's the thing, we are human beings. Jealousy happens. If anybody ever tells you, it's like if somebody ever tells you like they've never lied before, like that's not the truth. If somebody ever tells me they've never been, angry or jealous or envious of something, I don't believe them. And I say that because again, just be again. I'm only 27. I've had enough shit going on in and around my life, for a whole lifetime. Um, I started to realize, human beings are full of shit. People are full of shit. So if somebody ever tells you, they were never angry or raised, or they hated this person, or they never wanted to like smack the shit out of this person or punch this person in the face, which now you shouldn't, but now never let your emotions control you though. It's different. There's a difference between, understanding your emotions and taking action on it. Never take action on your emotions, because your emotions are just they are momentary, really, or they can be, some emotions can be long term. Like, oh, like, you have a passion for art, and like, you love art your whole life, that's good. But never, like, if you always wanted to punch somebody in the fucking face, I understand that completely. I've been around some bullshit people. Again, I've been around bullshit people pretty much my whole life. I wanted to punch some people in the face before. So don't feel bad about that, Accept those emotions, but again, never act on those, But a part of becoming a better person for yourself is realizing, hey, these emotions are real. Everyone has them. I accept them. I will think about them. I'll think, and you should think like while you're having these emotions, understand what triggers these emotions, you know. But again, never acting on those emotions, But understand, they're normal, and you're not a worser person for feeling those things. Because again, everybody has felt those feelings. So, yeah. Um, Number three about becoming um a better person would be number three. Sorry, number three on the list would be to um, savor your time and enjoy your own company. And what I suggest, number three should just be self love. That's number three on the list, self love. And when I say that, you really have to love yourself. I mean, like, understand what you want for yourself, what you like, your hobbies. Like, like lately I've really taken to my hobby. Like, I really like to watch Tokusatsu. It's a Japanese genre. You probably seen it, but just never knew what the genre is called. Tokusatsu. It's like superhero shows from Japan, like Ultraman or Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, which that's what Power Rangers comes from originally. Power Rangers is not an original concept in America. They stole, well, they paid for the rights to make up like a parody of it in the United States. They got, which is Power Rangers here, but Super Sentai is way better in Japan. Let me go ahead and say that it's a little joke, but well, no, that's the truth. Yeah, Super Sentai is way better. I'm an op to Power Rangers. Fuck Power Rangers, but let me go ahead and get back to self love. Do things that you enjoy. Understand yourself. Um, and be a friend to yourself too. Which that means, if you need to give yourself like a hug, something like a mental hug, or like reassure yourself. That's so important, especially in this society. People value um codependent relationships, or like pair to like friendships, more than um a relationship with yourself, which that's the most important thing in this world. It's not, I don't care what people could say. Oh, romantic love is the most important thing, or like your best friend. No, a relationship with yourself is truly the big one in this life. And some people, or sorry, I think I've said in, can't remember if it was like my last video, or I can't remember if I actually mentioned this, but I was just, I don't had a thought, before. I think it was my last video where I mentioned, like, the only person that's going to go with you through this life, or in, to the grave, the only person that's going to be with you the whole way through that journey is yourself. And then, that's 100% the truth. Um, so you have to have a good relationship with yourself. Especially if you're out there, um, trying to make friends, or get in a relationship or something like that. You have to make sure that you have a good relationship with yourself first. And make sure you love yourself first too, because if you get into like that, especially romantic love, I've heard of instances where people like lose themselves in a relationship. Like they start to become um like almost like symbiotic with their partner. Like they start to lose like their sense of self or something like that. They start to lose their interest, and like, oh, I like what my wife likes, or I like what my husband likes, or I like to do the only things with that, or um that's not a good thing. You have to really have a sense of, you really have to love yourself and understand what you like and what you dislike in this world. Um, yeah, it's like if you lose yourself, well, it's like, and then that's what I believe people start to become codependent when they start to lose themselves in the relationships. And when people get in breakups, like they cry like really a lot, or they take it hard, they get depressed. Me personally, I don't believe in that. Like, I've never been in a romantic relationship before, so I can't speak firsthand on the topic. But I've been like, I've had friends before. I've stopped talking to family members, I've stopped talking to many people that I've called friends before, which weren't real friends. Or I wasn't a real friend. I'm not gonna lie. That that goes back to I was a bad person. I was never really a real friend. I'm starting to learn how to do that now. But it's like, if you ever leave a relationship or something, um, that's just time. That's your time to move forward. Like, just forget about it. Like, no tears needed. Just keep going. It's like there's no reason to cry because that person has left. They've made their choice. And some people say things, to make those. One comment I think, that makes people feel better is like, if you love something, set it free. You don't have a that comment. or that quote alone might as well not exist, because the reality is you have no control over anybody or anything. If somebody or something wants to leave, which that includes yourself, you should get up and leave, man or woman, whatever. If you feel like you're in a situation, a relationship, or something else, that just doesn't feel right, it's not making you happy, or that get up and leave. That's all it takes. Just get up and leave. It's really that simple. And what again, start to become self-aware, understand your emotions, you will be better off. Oh, excuse me. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to the fourth thing on the list here, and just to end it all, um, pick yourself over everyone. Yeah, but like, I guess that could be included with self love, but you have to pick yourself over everybody. I think I personally think that should be a topic, um, just by itself, because some people just aren't willing to pick, or some people are waiting for other people to pick them, and like, oh, I want this person to like be, my boyfriend or girlfriend, and we'll be happy, they're gonna pick me, over everybody. Pick yourself. um and that's, some people out there that are very emotionally unintelligent. They'll probably say, oh, that sounds like, copium, or some other ridiculous shit. No, you need to pick yourself first in this life, because and if you don't, um well, you won't be able to do a lot of things that you want to do, and I guess I should also, um this topic should also be like, um well, actually, no, I'm gonna leave that for a fifth thing on the list. Let me hold that for now. But yeah, always pick yourself first in this life, because again, somebody might pick you. Who knows? But at the end of the day, the first person that should always be willing to pick you in this life is yourself. But let me get to the fifth thing on the list, and I think definitely one of the most important, um is be comfortable being alone and doing things on your alone, on your with yourself, because if you wait for everybody, you know just in life, friend, significant other, family, whatever, you won't be able to do anything you want to do. Like, I like to go to Korean barbecue. Not a lot of people I know like really like Korean barbecue like that, but there's many times I've gone to Korean barbecue by myself, or went to see a movie by myself, or just go anywhere by myself. Some people say like, "Oh, don't you feel weird just doing things by yourself?" At first, yes, I did feel weird, but after a while, I just started to realize like there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with doing things that I want to do, even if it's by myself. There's nothing wrong with doing it by yourself. If you're doing something by yourself, that shows confidence, in my opinion. That shows a lot of confidence to people, so, or to some people, there are people out there that will sit there and probably say like, "Oh, you just look like a lonely piece of shit," or something like that. It's some people just can't understand that, because some people have never been. I don't believe can take being alone in this life. A lot of people that will lash or make fun of other people that do things alone. They don't have enough confidence to do what they want to do, because they're so caught up in doing what everybody else wants to do, so they can't do what they want to do. So, and that's on them. If somebody makes fun of you for doing something alone, um, really ignore them, move on, and realize how shallow that comment was, because that's a very shallow comment. Ooh, excuse me. Whew. But yeah, um, yeah, that was it for my list today. I hope these do help you out. If you do have any questions about any of these things, please feel free to comment down below. If you are watching this, thank you very much. Again, this was the pain scale. Have a great one. Thank you.